Sam Fender returns with his brilliant new album, 17 Going Under. Includes the single 17 Going Under, Get You Down, and Spit of You. Sam Fender, 17 Going Under, out now.
Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Hi, this is Kelly.
And this is Jenna.
You're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Dexter from Murder. This takes place not in Florida, but the opposite. Canada.
Canada! Oh, Canada! All right, so I thought they were all supposed to be nice up there. How are they having chaos?
No.
No? All right.
Nope. I've heard
Damn
some twisted stories out of Canada.
That's true.
I think people don't expect it.
That's what it is, yeah.
You know, they're all so nice. This is October of 2008. 38-year-old named Johnny Altinger had disappeared from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. He worked at an oil field equipment manufacturer, and he was known by his friends and family to be very, very responsible, very down-to-earth, genuinely nice guy.
Very Canadian.
He was very Canadian. Exactly.
He's a nice guy.
Right. There was, So he had been chatting with a woman he met on the dating website Plenty of Fish.
Uh-oh.
Which I found out from this story is based in Canada. Like,
wow, I didn't know
people in
that.
America use it too, but I didn't know it was based in Canada. I was like, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I have friends that have used it, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So
I guess that's how there's plenty of fish.
That's
more than just one country.
Well, and Canada's big. There's lots of fish up there. It's huge.
It's a large landmass. Yes.
It is.
Yes.
So
bears.
So on Friday, October 10th, day after my birthday.
Yes. Send gifts too. P.O. Box. Just kidding.
Right.
All right.
Johnny told friends he was going to be meeting up with this woman named Jen. No relation that I'm aware of.
Now we know.
Right.
Spare time.
Right. So he met this woman named Jen on Plenty of Fish, and they were meeting up for a date.
No relation, as I know. That's hilarious. Like it's your last name. Sorry, I just got on with that. We're a little slow today.
Well, there's tons of that. There's tons of us out there. I used to say if all the Jens and Jennifers and Jennies and all forms of Jen got together, we could take over the world.
Please do. I know a specific country that needs to be taken over right now.
I'll talk to my people and see what we can do.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
You could be the next Jutin instead of Putin. The Jutins.
That's terrible.
I just had a Jenny helping me on my Thistle live. So,
We're everywhere, man.
The best part is her name is Jenny Jones.
Ooh.
No joke. Yeah.
So Friday night, he's supposed to have this date with this woman. Okay. No one hears from him the rest of the weekend.
Oh, shit. He's having a really good time.
It was a really good date, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't show up to work on Monday.
Okay. It's really, really good date.
Right? And then his friends and family receive a very strange email from Johnny. They all got the same email. It said, "Hey there," not specific to any one person, just, "Hey there.
To whom it may concern."
Right, exactly. Very formal. "I've met an extraordinary woman named Jen who has offered to take me on a nice, long, tropical vacation." That's how I know it's
legit.
fake right there.
Sounds legit. Yeah.
Exactly. "We'll be staying in her winter home in Costa Rica. Phone number to follow soon. I won't be back in town until December 10th, but I will be checking my email periodically. See you around the holidays, Johnny."
Yeah, so many red flags. This is like just one giant red flag with a Canadian maple leaf on it.
There you go.
All right.
So his friends found it odd. His brother found it really odd because he's like, my brother wouldn't talk to me that way. Like, that's that's not how we
make it so. Dear sirs.
Right, exactly.
Oh, no.
Johnny's boss also received an email, but this one had his letter of resignation.
Uh-ohs.
Right? And his boss was like, oh, okay. And he replied saying, all right, well, give me a forwarding address where I can send your last paycheck.
Right.
No response.
Yeah, that's not typical. I mean, you'd want your money.
That was weird. Yeah, I want my money, man. After receiving the suspicious email, his friends contacted the police, but they really didn't get the response they were hoping for. Police were like, well, he's a grown man. You went on a date. Maybe he went to Costa Rica. And they're like, it's totally out of character for him. But they really didn't.
Yeah, what can they do? Right.
Let's see what happens, right?
Oh, no.
So several of Johnny's friends broke into his condo. They were like, something's not right. Yep, yeah, exactly.
We're going to figure this shit out. Good for them.
Inside, they found no signs to indicate that he had packed for a trip. In fact, they found his passport. Kind of need that.
You're not going to Costa Rica on that. Yeah,
no, exactly. They found dirty dishes in the sink. There were just items left like on the couch and the coffee table. Like, it looked like he had just gone out and was planning to be right back. It did not look like he left for a...
Because he was going on a date. He wasn't going on a...
Because he was going on a date. And he wasn't planning on bringing her back there, obviously. Because
he did not clean.
Right, he didn't even clean.
Also, shave your balls. Wait, or like trim.
I had a couple of sources. None of them mentioned any ball hair that I had before. So,
well, so he did not trim. He was maybe not even thinking action would happen.
Maybe it was just a meet and greet. Let's just see. I don't know. So once they went to the apartment and were like, yeah, there's no way he went to Costa Rica. They went back to the Edmonton police, and the police then were like, all right, okay, we're going to open a missing persons investigation.
Okay, fine.
All right. Obviously, he didn't go to Costa Rica. You found his passport.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Nobody seemed to care that they broke into his apartment. They were just like,
well, you're friends. He'll probably forgive you.
Right. Thanks for doing something for us. We appreciate that. That was a...
We're not paid enough to do this shit.
It must be the Canadian police. They're just like...
Yeah. Have a beer, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So, like I said, Johnny was very responsible. On the night of his date, he forwarded an email to his friend that he had received from this woman, Jen, that he was meeting. Because in the email, she explained that her house was sort of a fixer-upper. And so rather than give him her street address, she gave him directions to the alley behind her house.
Oh.
And said, yeah, right. I would have given the address and the directions. Right. So she gives him directions to go to the alley behind her house and says, go ahead and pull into the garage and park your car. And then she told him to get out in the garage and go to the side door of the garage that would take him into the yard. The garage was not attached to the house. There was a yard in between.
I've seen those kind.
Apparently her yard was fenced and the gate was broken. And so she's like, it's just easier if you go in through the garage. And she mentioned, this way, I can see you walk up to the house and I can make sure that you're you and not... She was saying it was kind of like a safety precaution.
Why not meet at a public place?
Then? Yeah, right.
Okay. Ugh.
But I guess he was like, no, it's cool. I'm normal. If that's what you need, so she wanted to see him walk up.
Gentlemanly. Oh no.
Right. I thought that was
and
weird.
Parking in the garage. That's super weird to me. That's very
right.
Almost personal. I don't know.
Yeah.
For some reason that feels really
too
almost invasive.
Well, and I was like, how is he going to open the door to the garage? Like,
right. Yeah.
Do you get out and pull it up? Like, I don't know. Mine's got a remote thing. I don't know. That was strange, but maybe they don't do it like that. I don't know.
Yeah, this is plenty of fishy.
Johnny's friend read the email and said, be careful. And he's like, oh, of course I will. But, just in case if something happens, you'll know where I went.
Oh, thank God.
Very
good that he did this.
Smart, right?
Yes.
One of my close friends recently had started online dating, and I made her text me every time. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to meet him? And she was like, oh my God, we're just going to be, and I'm like, no, I need to know what time and where. And I'm like,
I've heard too many of these stories.
Too much shit.
Yes. We've heard all the stories. I do not want to be that person having to be on the news report talking about you.
I was like, I know you've watched Law & Order. You know why I'm paranoid.
You know this shit.
Right, exactly. So the friend gave the police this email, and so they followed the directions to a 2-door garage and found that that the garage itself had been rented out by a man named Mark Twitchell, who was a 29-year-old aspiring filmmaker who had rented the garage as a set for a current film project he was doing.
Oh, God. Okay.
So it wasn't his own garage. He didn't live in the house. I didn't even know you could rent out your garage.
I didn't either. 2 doors. So I wonder if it's like opens like a gate. Almost.
No, I have pictures. They both open up, but instead of it being one wide door, it's just 2 doors. Two single car doors, right?
Okay, gotcha.
I've never lived in a house like that. I never understood why they're like, because what if you have something big you want to put in there?
Right.
Or what if, I don't know.
Totally.
It's one other thing for me to hit when I back out. I don't know. There's so many reasons for me not to have just the
Multiple
one door.
doors.
But, right. It's just like, I don't need any extra.
Just give me single something.
They talked to Mark, and Mark tells lead investigator Bill Clark that he didn't know anything about Johnny Altinger or his missing Mazda. He had a red Mazda 6, Johnny, and they were keeping an eye out for that too. They're like, cool, at least it's a red car. It'd be easy to find, right?
Yeah.
Mark's like, nope, I don't know anything about that. They asked, can we search the garage? He was like, of course, go ahead. However, when they went to the garage, Mark mentioned that the lock on the garage had been changed. And apparently not by him. So the police had to cut open the lock.
What? So like he didn't pay a bill, so they put a new lock on it or something?
I'm not really sure. And this was like the door, the side door that you could walk in and out of, not the garage door.
Gotcha. And
there was a padlock on it, and they cut it off, and so they went in, and they're looking around, and they noticed that there seems to be what looks like a little bit of blood spatter on the wall. And there was a table in there, and there was like some blood spatter on like one of the legs of the table. And Mark let him know. He was like, oh, this is prop blood. I rented the garage to film a scene from this movie, and I've actually been in the process of cleaning up in here. And they're like, okay.
That's easy to test. Let's figure this out.
Mark voluntarily goes to the police station to be interviewed. They find out that he is married. He's got a child.
Oh,
he's got no criminal record. He's got no history of violence. He is very open to being interviewed. He's very eager to help. He also enjoyed bragging a little bit about his film career.
Uh-oh.
I can put that in quotes, air quotes.
Yeah.
Film career.
Hopeful.
Right. So
kind of like our podcasting career.
Yeah, exactly. I use the term career very loosely. So he had some stuff. So in 2007, he directed something called Star Wars Secrets of the Rebellion, which was a full-length fan film prequel, which is why I hadn't heard of it, because I was like, oh, no.
Well, yeah, I was like, if anyone, you'll know about this. Okay, what?
I don't know this story. Yeah, I mean, they had a guy, they showed like pictures of the guy who was like playing Luke Skywalker, or not Luke Skywalker, Han Solo. I'm like, that's not my Han Solo.
That is definitely not him.
But the Chewbacca costume was spot on, like the height and everything. That was pretty, I was impressed. That was
all right. Good.
So it wasn't like a cheesy, I mean, it was still a fan film, but it wasn't like didn't look like a school project.
I was going to say, it's not like the ones my kids have made on their GoPros and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, anyways, and apparently it got some buzz in the Star Wars world, I guess. I don't know how much.
With the super fans.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Not fan enough for me, though. I was like,
This is the ones who just live it.
Right,
kind of like
exactly.
the Trekkies who understand the language of all the different characters.
Exactly.
Yeah, but this is way farther. Yeah.
Other level.
Yeah.
He also, I guess, had written a script for a buddy comedy called Day Players. I wasn't a lot of information on that one. But the current project he was working on was a short film. It was a horror film called House of Cards.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
So it's not the TV show House of Cards.
No, it's not. This was definitely different. He had rented the garage in order to film some of the scenes for this movie. So Mark explained that House of Cards was about a serial killer who lured men to a garage using a fake dating profile.
Oh, God.
In order to kill them.
Weird. This sounds really familiar.
Right? Mark even admitted in the interview, wow, that's really creepy that you guys are looking for this guy. And that's what my movie's about. Like, that's like, he said something like, yeah, I got like chills.
Yeah, because you did something like this. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, it was a little like,
I got chills because you tracked me down.
Right, exactly. I didn't expect you to find me so quick. That's why I'm like shitting bricks here.
Whoops.
So anyway, police asked to further examine the garage. And this was on a separate day.
Okay.
It's really hard when you're like reading articles and then you're like watching a show on it. It's hard to tell like how much time has passed.
Oh, totally.
Because, you're used to watching like, CSI and it all happens within like 24 hours, right? Like they just...
Right. This just happened, didn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So apparently for whatever reason, this was another day. I don't know why he walked out the first day. I don't really understand. This is a different day. And they asked, can we come look in the garage again? And again, he was like, no problem. All right, that's cool. This time when officers arrived, Mark mentioned something he forgot to mention the first time, which was that he had recently purchased a red car off a guy for $40.
Oh, God. Was it a Mazda 6?
It was!
What?
Plus, I think there is a bit of an exchange rate between Canadian money and American, but it's not that drastic. It's not.
$40 is $15,000 in American dollars.
Right. That's one hell of a deal, right? So when they were like, what are you talking about? He said that a guy actually approached him asking, hey man, you want to buy my car? Just apparently out of the blue.
Yeah, like walking her down the street.
Right. And the guy told Mark that he had, his words were, shacked up with a rich lady.
Oh.
Who bought him a new car, and he was looking to get rid of his old one. Like, he's like, I don't need this anymore, right?
Yeah, why would I want more money? I could just give it for $40. So.
Right. Why would I want to not trade it in?
Yeah.
Or
sell it
to somebody else or whatever. No. Just... So he said he would give it to Mark for whatever Mark happened to have on him, which apparently was $40.
Wow, maybe Mark should start playing the lottery because that's some luck, man.
Right?
I have not heard of that happening.
Yeah, I have never had anyone walk up to me and be like, what, you got 25 cents on you? Sure, have my car. Like,
Perfect, thank you. Wow.
Weird, right?
I mean, I need to be in the situations more, I guess.
So Mark let them know that, so I bought it for $40 and it's parked at a friend's house. Mm-hmm. And they did identify that, that's Johnny Altinger's car. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Mark kind of sucks at this.
Right?
Oh, Mark, you suck.
Dude, you need to do a little more research. Police also spoke to the actor whose character in House of Cards gets killed with a samurai sword into the garage.
Oh.
They went and found the actor, because Mark actually hired an actor to do this.
Wow, okay.
Not a famous actor.
No,
like a D-list actor.
Okay.
Not even like a D-list.
A teenager from a production. He contacts the local college. Do you have any media theater arts students that want an off job? Yes. Okay.
I guess this guy had done some stuff. Nothing I knew of, but whatever.
Local community theater.
Right, exactly. Community theater. Right. It is I am here to be
Romeo. Wait, wrong role. Okay.
Right. The guy tells police he was a little unnerved when he went to film his scenes to find that there wasn't a prop sword. There was a real samurai sword.
Yeah.
It was like,
Alec Baldwin will testify. You do not use real weapons. Oh, who said that? Did somebody say that? Who talked about that?
We went there.
Mm-hmm. Right. I did, but, real weapons shouldn't be on a scene. Just saying.
But Mark explained to him that he was actually going to swap the actor out for a dummy when it came for, the kill shot. So don't worry, man. I'm not actually going to stab
Chewbacca.
you.
We're going to bring in Chewbacca. Because that's at least believable. Oh, my God. That's hilarious. I want to see the dummy they were going to bring in.
Right.
Because that had to be realistic.
When police asked them about, any fake blood that was used during the scene, the actor was like, yeah, we didn't use any fake blood in the scenes that I filmed.
God, Mark, do better. You're sucking
was
at
like-
yours. I mean, at least
Yeah. This isn't
set
even
it
a
up.
good. This isn't even a good film, man. Because
No.
like, I don't think you're going to get away without blood with a samurai
Yeah,
sword. But that's
unless
just
maybe
me.
he
What
was
do I
gonna
know?
CGI it in.
Right, that's
later
a lot
on.
of CGI to do.
Totally.
It's a lot, right?
Totes. Yeah.
So, whatever. I don't know
Okay.
a lot about CGI. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So, Detective Clark impounded Mark Twitchell's car
Nice.
and got a warrant to search it. It was a maroon Pontiac. I don't know why he wasn't driving the Mazda. It was a much
Yeah,
nicer car.
come on.
No, he was driving a maroon Pontiac with the vanity plate Dark Jedi.
Oh, God. Is he
I
at
don't-
least black? Because that would be cool.
No, he's a white guy.
See,
No.
Dark Jedi should be some hot black dude. And I'd be like, oh,
No, I don't know that he understands the Star Wars universe. You're not on the dark side and a Jedi. They are very separate entities.
he's like, I have formed a new system for the Jedis. We are now Dark Jedis.
Yeah, I'm really worried about this fan film that he made. I don't think it's going to be accurate at all.
Yeah, we don't like that. I'm all for the Black Jedi, though.
That's Mace Windu. That's
yeah, what's the
Samuel
name?
L. Jackson's character.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like
That's
him.
the Dark Jedi.
I like
he
him.
Can have that plate.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, I like him. So many film references here.
Oh God! All right,
All right.
my nerd is really coming out now. Okay. When they searched the car, they found a laptop.
Okay.
Forensics were able to recover a deleted Word document. Because, you can delete stuff, but it doesn't
You
always
can. It doesn't
leave.
erase it.
Yeah.
It's there.
And there was a Word document that was called SK Confessions.
As in serial killer.
Yeah, see, that's where I went too. Serial killer.
It could have been
right?
Sugar Kisses. No. Sugar Kisses Confessions.
Sugar.
It's like a Harlequin book.
Oh, God.
It's a Harlequin romance.
Oh, dear God.
Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we'd better go with serial killer.
Yeah, we better go with serial killer.
I think that sounds
So,
better.
the first few lines of text read, "This story is based on true events. The names and events were altered slightly to protect the guilty.
Uh-oh.
This is the story of my progression into becoming a serial killer."
Well, this sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
like
like,
he's
oh,
writing the story of exactly what he did. Is this a journal or is this actually a film?
Exactly.
It's a journal. Okay.
How factual or fictitious is this? The document went on to describe the author's extensive planning, failed first attempt, and then successful second attempt
Yikes.
at murdering a man by luring him to a garage using fake online dating profiles.
Oh my God, this guy. I'm sorry, but Marcus.
Right,
So
I know.
Probably the name of the guy, it's not Marcus, it's Marquis
Right.
in the story.
He just did a
Changed
find
it
and
so much.
replace and changed like Mark to Mike, right? John to Jim. Like just
Right. It's so
Right.
so different, man. What are you
Right,
talking
it's-
about?
totally different.
Oh no.
Oh, it also described dismembering the body and then attempting to dispose of the remains.
Perfect. Now let us know where you did this at.
Right, exactly.
Thank you for writing this all out for us. Your
Thanks
confession.
for laying this all out. This is perfect.
Yes.
There were several disturbing details
Oh shit.
in there. The author wrote about cutting off the victim's head
Oh.
and then, quote, "I grabbed his jaw with my gloved hand and moved it while making a funny voice to make it look like it was talking, and I chuckled to myself at the total silliness of it all."
See, I
That's
was
some messed up shit, man.
yeah. So have you ever watched the movie Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag?
I know the name, but I've never seen it.
It's so good, but it makes murder pretty funny, kind of like Pulp Fiction.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm trying to imagine that, but this guy's just not good at it. I'm sorry, it's not funny.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, and even if it was fictitious, I'm like, dude, you're sick, man.
Yeah, that's just
It's really gross.
And real flesh and real shit. That's way different than using a prop dummy.
Really nasty, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, it also, another line out of it that was a little
God.
disturbing was, quote, "Most people fantasize, and it
Do they?
only,
Do they though?
Thanks for that
Who
tidbit.
fantasizes about this?
Yeah, but not
Okay.
about this. Right, exactly.
no.
I thought you just
Okay.
meant in general.
Oh, well, that maybe.
Right, yeah. Okay. So most people fantasize, and it only ever stays a fantasy. They don't have the disposition or the stomach to go all the way with their dark urges, but I do.
Maybe most people don't have dark urges, dude.
Right.
Like that.
Also, I think
Ooh.
we're all grateful to that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
let's
Thank God.
Ugh.
Ugh.
So, police are reading this. They're unclear whether this is a screenplay or a
I think it's
diary
a confession. Yeah.
or
No,
what.
This is our confession. Can you sign this?
it's
And
a little too convenient, right? It's a little too...
a little too spot on.
Detectives then visited the Twitchell home and spoke to Mark's wife, Jess.
Oh God, this poor family.
Oh. So, Jess and Mark had only been married for 2 years,
Oh.
but it was obvious that they were living on separate floors of the house.
Oh.
Yeah, like
I
not even living in separate bedrooms, like
Uh-oh.
existing
Like they have
on
wings.
different floors. Yeah, right. It was like, yeah, they're not
This is
even
another Canadian maple flag, red flag.
red flag.
Oh.
Oh God, we need
I
a
have our
sticker.
sticker.
Yeah, great. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we have our sticker.
Totally.
Yep. Okay.
So Jess tells police officers that she found out that Mark was having an affair with an old girlfriend.
Already 2 years in.
2 years in.
Wow.
Right.
That didn't take long. Okay.
She also discovered that he had lied to her about having a day job.
Oh shit.
Ooh, yeah.
So that he could make his film career.
Right. Apparently he was leaving every day to go to work.
Oh, he's doing that bit.
But in reality, he was living off money that friends had given him as an investment to his next film.
Oh, how's he gonna pay that back?
Yeah, right? Where's the movie? I don't know, man, but I got some McDonald's yesterday. Like,
Oh,
shit, right?
I got a car for $40 though.
Boy.
I mean, that's a pretty good
Shit,
investment.
He could sell that and live off that for a little bit.
Totally. Or pay back the people. Well, yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Coincidentally, this also matched up with SK Confessions. There were references in that manuscript that referenced a crumbling marriage and trying to convince his wife he wasn't cheating.
Interesting.
Right. Still, there wasn't any proof to say whether or not this was fact or fiction. This is still, man, it's really coincidental, but they don't have anything.
But we can find the proof because there was blood spatter.
We're going to look into it.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Whether you're on the go or listening on your cell phone, tablet, or laptop, you can find the show in the iTunes, Google, and iHeartRadio platforms.
With all due respect, I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Just search Maya, My Ambition, Your Ambition, and get ready to be inspired and motivated to harness your ambitions.
That's the gospel.
Mark Twitchell built a world of fantasy around him, right? He was one of those
Sure did.
guys, right, who spent hours making elaborate cosplay costumes, you know, Star Wars ones, Marvel ones.
Which could be very cool.
Right, yeah, I mean, I know some completely decent, normal people who do that, and that's totally
I don't know if I'd
fine.
go so far as calling him normal. But yes, decent for sure.
Right,
But
good-hearted,
this is why I like those people, because I did not appreciate normal that
non-dangerous,
much.
right,
Yeah.
non-dangerous, right?
Fun.
On his Facebook page, he made numerous posts comparing himself to the fictional character Dexter Morgan from the Showtime series Dexter.
Okay, Dexter is one and only, dude. So don't even try.
Right?
You cannot.
No, you can't.
No.
I'm sorry.
Plus, he's
you can't.
fictional.
Right? And he actually does know about blood spatter.
He
Whereas
actually
you
is in the
don't,
business. Yes.
Right?
Very true.
Mark even created a Dexter Morgan Facebook profile for himself. So, you know, you can make more than one profile for
Yeah.
yourself. So he named himself Dexter Morgan and stuff.
Yikes.
He used it to chat with other super fans of the show. And through that, he befriended another woman. Her name was Renee Waring from Ohio. Mark, they chatted. They chatted about the show. You know, they both were big fans of the show. Mark ends up telling Renee that he's a filmmaker and that he just finished making this film called House of Cards.
Okay.
Renee was an aspiring writer. So she was really interested
Right.
in making a connection with a filmmaker, right?
Absolutely.
This would be awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, they shared similar tastes, obviously.
Totally. Let's
So
work together.
they talked a lot, like several times a day.
Wow.
I
Like
don't-
on the phone?
I don't know. No, Messenger, like
Okay.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah,
But,
like how do you work? Do you not work?
I don't know, man. He was married. He had a girlfriend. He had a kid. He was making films. He's talking to this other girl. Like, he was busy.
He's getting free cars. Man.
He's getting free cars.
Yeah, price is right.
Lots going on with Mark, right? Renee did admit that at times their conversations were flirtatious, but she was really interested in making a potential
Right. She wanted a
business
career.
relationship, right?
Okay.
Right. So, but they talked a lot, and she ends up telling detectives that shortly before October of 2008, which is
Okay.
when Johnny goes missing,
Right.
she and Mark had been discussing the psychology of serial killers,
Oh.
right? So they're going down that road.
Yeah.
And then one day she mentioned that she was really pissed off at her ex's new wife. I don't know why, but she was really pissed off. And she's like, oh my God, I want to kill her. I could kill her, right?
Yeah, right.
And, right, I mean, people say that, right?
Totally.
And she said, I could never actually do it. But, just hypothetically, how do you think I could get away with it? Right? She's pissed and she's
Yeah,
they're
projecting.
talking.
She's trying to
There you go, projecting.
vent.
So Mark told her, oh, well, you would take care of it Dexter style by cutting her up into little pieces and putting them in trash bags. And then you would rent a boat and dispose of the body in Lake Erie because she lives in
Where
Ohio.
she was
near
close to, right?
Right?
Yeah, that's a lot more work than
Yeah.
you realize. I would
That's a lot.
think. I mean, even watching Dexter, you can realize how much work it is.
It's exhausting. I don't know how he does all that. Anyway, she didn't think anything of it. 'Cause, again, she
She's
watches
just like,
the show.
ha, ha, ha. Yeah,
That's
that made me
right.
feel better. Ha ha ha. Funny.
Then a few weeks later, she gets a message from Mark that says, suffice it to say, I crossed the line on Friday, ... and I liked it.
Okay, you had sex with someone else. That's how I would take that.
She took it immediately as, oh shit, he killed somebody.
Because they had fantasized about it a lot
Because
together.
they've been talking about it. She's like,
She knew.
that's the line he meant, right? And she
Another
was kind of
red
like,
Canadian flag there. Like, I
Right?
knew he was capable of this, obviously.
yes, oh my God. But she didn't know for sure. And she tried to get him to give her more information to kind of
Right.
confess online, but he wouldn't say anything further about it.
What a tease.
Interesting. In the meantime, the forensic testing on Mark's car came back.
Ooh, yes. Let's hear about this.
Blood had been found in the trunk of his car, and the DNA was an exact match for Johnny Altinger.
So it wasn't dummy blood. This was real shit. Something
was the real
happened.
shit, right?
Was it enough to show that he had died?
Well, there was a decent amount of blood in that car. And there's not real, and it was in the trunk. There's not a lot of reasons for people to hang
True.
in a
Like,
trunk.
wow, I cut my finger. I'm going to go lay in the trunk.
Go lay down
My
in the
nose
trunk
is
for a
bleeding
while.
very badly. I'm going to go lay in the trunk.
Just happened to get a nosebleed while I was hanging out in the trunk of your car.
Fun times.
I found this was kind of a fun coincidence. On the morning of Halloween 2008, 3 weeks after Johnny's fake date, I don't know why I did air quotes. That's fake date does not need air quotes. Anyway, 3 weeks after the fake date, police arrested Mark Twitchell. I actually wrote March Twitchell, not
Well,
March.
you know what? Maybe his name was March in the script.
Right, it's the fake name. Names have been changed to protect the guilty.
It's March.
So Mark Twitchell gets arrested on Halloween.
Okay.
He's charged with first-degree murder.
Woo.
And I just figured I'd throw this in there. In the show that I watched, Detective Bill Clark mentioned that he wasn't so tough because when they arrested him, he peed his pants. So much for tough guy.
Whoa. That's kind of major. That's a big reaction.
I just
Oh,
like,
no.
really? You can
Yeah. Like
play
you can
with dead-
handle
you can handle
chopping-
dead bodies?
Yeah, and like
But the
making
police-
jokes about them laughing
Yeah.
or different voices on ahead, but police
But
come
the
and get
poli-
you and you pee your pants.
Right? I that's why I found it kind of, yeah, like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, whatever,
So,
dude. Depends. That's why they
detectives,
exist.
right. Depends, that's why they exist. Always wear them if you're afraid that you might get arrested.
Yes.
Just in case.
You never know. Or if you're in a bad wreck.
Never
That your
know.
depends. It's okay.
Right. Okay. So detectives now decided to change their focus on SK confessions and to treat it like it was a diary
Good.
and how they could prove that it was not a work of fiction. Right? They're like,
Every
"All right, we need
detail
to find-"
seems to match. So,
The manuscript mentioned a failed attempt to kill a man before Johnny, a man that got away.
okay. So we need to find the man that got away.
Right? Police looked and there were no police reports filed that matched anything like what happened, right? So like, okay.
But what guy is going to report something that was kind of
right?
embarrassing, probably?
Totally, right? In the manuscript, the author described that when he attacked both men, he was wearing a mask. And in it, he described it as a hockey mask that had been
Oh, Jesus.
altered. It had been painted black. Yeah, I know. Come on, man. Get
Yeah.
inventive here. You know, we've done this.
At least he tried to alter it.
Right.
So he painted it black, you say?
He painted it black, and then there were like gold metallic paint kind of made like stripes come across from the one corner of the forehead down across the eyes.
It's a black Jedi.
A dark Jedi, if you will.
That's what I meant. Dark Jedi. Yes.
Dark Jedis did not wear hockey masks. Come
And
on.
they didn't use gold. No.
And they, right. When police were searching the Twitchell's house, they found a mask that matched the description that was in the manuscript, right? So they're like,
Weird. Weird. Of course, he could say, like, oh, that's part of the movie I was going to make.
it's part of the movie. Exactly. Police went to the media with a photograph of the mask,
Oh, God.
right? And pleaded for the victim of the first attack to contact them. This is a totally French name, and I had to write it out phonetically. So I want to say Giles Trerault or whatever, but I looked it up and I listened to the way they said it on the show, and it's Gilles Tetreault.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot more letters in there.
I know. The French always leave off the end of the words. So
Oh
it's
my
like,
God. Gilles is
Gilles.
one syllable.
Okay.
Gilles. And Tetreault is just Tetreault. I
Okay.
feel like
Yes.
it's a lot of wasted letters in that.
You
but
know,
okay.
it takes a lot of schooling. I cannot even tell you. I still wouldn't have gotten that right, and I took 4 years of French, so
That was a tough one. So, Gilles. All right. So, 33-year-old Gilles Tetreault saw the news, recognized the mask. Wow. It was worn by a man who had attacked him just 1 month prior. And when he heard on the news that his attacker's next victim had actually been killed and police were still looking for his body, he went straight to the Edmonton Police Department.
good for him. I bet he didn't pee his pants.
No, I don't think he did.
See, he's
this
more
guy-
tough than this dick
Oh,
face.
this guy was tough as shit. Wait till you hear. He was good looking too. He was a good looking guy.
Ah.
Gilles told
Gilles.
Detective Bill Clark that a week before Johnny's fake date, he had made a date to meet a woman that he met on plentyoffish.com. He was also given the same directions to a garage, park inside, go through the back door, the whole deal, right? But when Gilles pulled into the garage and got out of the car, somebody grabbed him from behind
Ah.
and shocked him with what turned out to be a stun baton. It wasn't like a taser. It was like a baton with
Right. Stun gun. Oh, my God. Okay.
stun baton, right? But it didn't like put him on the floor or anything. It stunned him and it shot, it like surprised him and stuff. But he turned around and there was a man standing there with a black hockey mask. And he was pointing a gun at him.
Oh, shit.
So he yells for Gilles to get on the ground and he puts a piece of tape over his eyes. I don't really know why the eyes and not the mouth or anything.
Right.
Whatever. I was like, okay.
I want you to see what's happening. Okay.
Right. We're like, okay. So, he does. Gilles panics because he realized I didn't tell anybody where I was going.
Oh, no.
So back again to my PSA about, especially if you're meeting somebody that you met online.
Man or woman, doesn't matter.
Right. Or just let anybody know where the F you're going.
Yes.
Just someone, anybody, leave a Post-it, whatever.
Right. That's like the hiking in Colorado. You always leave a note. I might be going this way because you never know. You just get lost or
Seriously.
Shit.
So Gilles panics and he's like, shit, if something happens to me, no one's going to know where to look for me, right?
Oh, God. So he knew he had to fight.
He takes a chance. And for whatever reason, so he's on the ground and the guy put the tape over his eyes. But that was it. So he stood up and ripped the tape off of his eyes because he wasn't handcuffed or anything.
Like, yeah, okay.
Or tied. I was like, I rewound the story a couple times. I'm like, wait a minute. How?
Would you duct tape their hands first behind them or
assumed,
something?
Right?
You know?
I assumed, but apparently I assumed wrong. So he stands up and he rips tape off of his eyes, and the masked man yells at him, "Get back down on the ground!"
How dare you?
Right?
How dare you?
And he's got the gun, and Gilles decides to just he's like, I got to do something. So he grabs at the gun and realizes it's plastic.
That's awesome. Okay.
So apparently he can't use a movie prop samurai sword.
Right, but
he does
we're
have
going to
a
get a
plastic
fake
gun.
Okay.
Realizing this, Gilles goes and tries to punch the man, not realizing that the shock baton actually did have an effect on him. His muscles were really weak. So he was like,
it's like slow motion.
Yeah. In the interview, he was confused. He was like, why was that so lame? Like, what? He was like, what the heck?
Better than that. Okay.
Yeah, I can throw a punch better than this, right? The man then punches Gilles in the head and grabs him by the jacket. And Gilles takes that chance to let him have his jacket and slip out of the jacket.
Take off, man.
And he dives under the garage door. Because I guess the garage door was partly open. Again, not sure why.
Wow. Okay.
This must have been a really, really secluded alley.
Totally.
Airflow.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody comes around. Okay.
Right. So he dives under the door, right? And he tries to get up and run, but his legs give out and he ends up face planting on the gravel, right? It was just he's kind of a mess, right?
Yeah.
Because he's all weak and shit.
Oh, no.
So he's kind of laying there in shock for a second, and the man grabs him by the legs and starts dragging him back. It's like a horror movie!
Stop it! No.
It is like a horror movie.
Totally.
Starts dragging him back in, right? Okay, so, but Gilles is like, shit. And he kind of musters up enough energy to roll back out of the garage. So I guess the guy pulled him in, and then he's he was like, rolling. Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll, babe.
Exactly. He was doing pretty good for a guy who didn't have all of his faculties about him anymore.
Got stun-gunned.
Right.
Wow.
So he rolls back out onto the driveway, and he kind of crawls down the driveway to the street of the alley, where, thank God, there was a couple that happened to be taking a walk.
And he's like, get me out.
Right. So he... Shit.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Get me oot.
I need oot.
Oh, gosh. So he yells at the couple. He's like, I need help. I'm being robbed. I'm being robbed, right? But then the man in the hockey mask comes out in the freaking mask.
Jesus. Yeah, that's not freaky.
Right? And says, oh, come on, let's go back in or whatever. He totally acted
We're just having fun.
Right. They were pretending like they were friends or whatever.
Oh, God.
And the couple kind of got weirded out and thought that maybe this was a trap for them to get robbed.
Oh, Jesus.
So they just kind of okay. And then they quickly walk away.
No, but at least call or something.
Right. No, they were like, no, speak English. I don't know. They just.
It's like they're in New York.
Right. They're like,
there's a woman getting attacked down there. We're just going to look the other way.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So they start to walk away. But them doing that, Gilles gathers up his strength, starts booking it as fast as he can to his car. Keys are still in his pocket, pulls out the keys, gets in the car, drives away.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. Not exactly sure how the garage door went up the rest of the way so he could pull out, but whatever. That was another thing that I was just like,
it was still in the garage.
Yeah, his car was still in the garage, right? So I don't know.
So he went back into the garage and got his car. Interesting. Wow, that's balls. I would have probably just ran away. Been take the car.
You know what? Maybe that was it. Maybe his car really was just on the driveway, and that's why.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know.
He never pulled it in.
Maybe he never pulled it in. Maybe he Right. Maybe he parked on the driveway and then walked
maybe-
into the garage.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
maybe that's why he told the next person to pull into the garage.
Pull into the garage.
He realized his mistake.
Yes. I bet, that's good.
I
That's
wonder. You learn each mistake.
Once Gilles got home, he went online and looked up the woman's dating profile, which had, of course, been deleted. That's gone, right? But he was really embarrassed that he had allowed himself to get duped, right? He was like, oh, that was so dumb, right?
But you gotta report it.
I know. But he really believed it was a setup to get robbed. He really
He didn't think it was.
He was embarrassed, and he was like, maybe I made more out of it than it really was. Looking back.
I hate that questioning. I do that to myself all the time. I get it.
So he didn't really, he was like, oh, maybe that's it. And then a month later, he sees the news and sees that it could have been much, much worse.
Oh, totally.
Right?
And now someone else has paid it. Oh. I'm glad he got out.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm glad he got out too. Gilles' story matched almost word for word what was written in SK Confessions. Like right down to the guy got out of the thing and I pulled him back by his legs.
Wow.
Like, it was exactly how that happened, right?
Yeah, that's hard to.
Right. Based on that, police pretty much knew then what happened to Johnny Oltinger. Because if that was all true.
Oh, yeah.
And what he said about the other.
Pretty much sealed it.
And and what was written about the second victim, the actual victim, right? The actual murder victim, was that Mark had learned from his previous mistake, like you said. So that probably also was the thing with the garage. He learned that the taser wasn't enough to subdue his victim.
Oh, God.
So when Johnny got out of the car, he hit him in the head with a lead pipe.
Jesus.
And then stabbed him multiple times.
No, dude.
Then he put Johnny's body on a table and dismembered him, just like Dexter Morgan and his kill table.
There's a huge difference, though, because Dexter chose people that were bad.
Right. People
That
who deserved to die.
Right.
Right. But who the police hadn't been able to pin stuff on. He lived by the code.
The code. He had the code. This douchebag had no code.
Had no code.
Oh.
He was codeless.
He was.
Police were able to confirm this by using luminol in the garage. There were 2 very large areas on the garage floor that just lit up.
Oh.
And when they went back to search, they found a tooth fragment.
Why does that stuff bother me so much? Those little.
Because I think it's because if you were going to get hit hard enough to have a tooth come out or break your tooth, that's. Anyway, forensics were able to match it. Johnny's DNA. That was Johnny's tooth.
Johnny.
And traces of Johnny's blood was also found on some of Mark's clothing that the police had taken into evidence. So.
So obviously he was there during it.
Right? It was real. Yeah, you can't really dispute that.
No.
The manuscript then told how Mark had broken into Johnny's condo, which, dude, Johnny's condo is not very secure. Like, people are breaking into it left and right.
Everyone's going into Johnny's. They're like, I'm here, dude. Push the door open.
He really should have gotten a security system of some kind because, people
At least a dog. Just get a dog, man. At least something.
Right. So Mark broke into Johnny's condo and used his computer to send emails saying he was going to Costa Rica, to whom it may concern. Right. So he tried to cover his tracks somewhat, but man.
I wondered if maybe he'd gotten his phone or something, was sending it from that, but he actually went to his house.
He went to his house. I don't understand, because anyone who watched Dexter was a blood spatter analyst.
Expert.
And dude, there was spatter all over the fucking garage. So did you watch the show? What have we learned?
Power washer. I mean,
this was I don't know what he was thinking. The manuscript also said that he unsuccessfully tried to burn Johnny's remains in a barrel.
Ugh. Stink.
Right?
No.
And then when that wasn't working, he loaded the remains into his car The trunk, obviously.
Yeah, of an Audi, or was it a Mazda?
No, Pontiac.
Oh, Pontiac. Oh, I was
Pontiac,
thinking of
big trunk.
Of
Johnny's
the other car,
yeah.
Johnny's car. Yeah. Okay.
So his intention was to dump the remains in the river, but then he panicked because he thought he was going to be seen. Which, why did he even try to burn them?
Right.
Dexter didn't do that.
No.
Dude, come on. You know.
Fire would have the smoke.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know,
What?
right?
Okay.
So anyway, so he's driving around with the body in the back, and oh God, the manuscript even talks about how he enjoyed the thrill of pulling up at a stoplight and making eye contact with the people in the car next to it, thinking
Ugh.
they have no idea I have a body in my trunk.
Wow.
Creepy.
Yes, someone's
Blech.
mentally
Yeah, he's not okay.
off there.
Ultimately, Mark found a manhole cover and disposed of the remains in the sewer.
Well, there's gators in the sewer, right? So no, is that a different movie?
I not in Canada.
That's right. It's too cold.
It's like, I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
I don't think there are anywhere, but maybe.
Different one. Yeah, okay. So unfortunately, that's where the manuscript ended.
What? Oh.
It just stopped. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So police had no clue where the manhole was. So they searched. They looked at all the places that made sense. Couldn't find it, right? So then Detective Clark puts Mark Twitchell in the car and drives him around Edmonton for hours. Right?
Awesome. Okay.
Taking him to all the places, asking him, like pushing him. Mark wouldn't say a word.
You know what they should have done was put him down each manhole and be, does this look familiar? Ah! Does this one look familiar? Ah! He'd have peed his pants so many times.
He would have peed his pants. I hope they put some Depends on him because it was probably like the detective's own car.
Yeah, they're like, man, there's not enough Febreze in the world for this shit.
Oh my God. God. Mark sat in jail for almost 2 years waiting for his trial.
Okay.
And finally, 2 years into sitting in the jail with nothing better to do, I guess, he finally decided he was ready to talk. He provided police a Google map with the location of the manhole where they could find Johnny's remains. And police went there and they were able to recover what was left, I guess.
So apparently there's not a lot of people that go to service whatever things are
I
in
guess
the manholes
not.
that often.
Yeah. Not like, what was it? Which one? One Dookie for Murder.
Yeah.
Where, it was like, it's just chicken. I had some KFC and I flushed it down the toilet. That's not chicken. Anyway, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to One
go
Dookie
back and
for
listen
Murder.
to Dookie. It's delicious.
Oh, God. Okay, so Mark ended up going on trial in March of 2011. Took a long time.
That did take a long time.
SK Confessions was read aloud for the jury.
Oh, God.
Yeah, very incriminating
He probably
evidence.
loved that.
Oh, yeah, right?
Secretly.
He was probably watching them to see, like,
Did you
what
like
they
that?
thought. Yeah, right?
Was that intense for you?
Right. Prosecutors claimed that SK stood for serial killer. Duh.
What?
And that it was the diary of a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
The defense claimed it stood for Stephen King,
Oh, see.
a hero of Mark's.
Stephen King Confessions.
And that, right? And that it was a work of fiction based loosely on facts from his own life.
Loosely. Any of that, even if it's loosely, that's pretty bad. It's like, I don't want that on there.
Mark showed no emotion during the trial.
Shocker.
None. Mm-hmm. His wife, Jess, testified that he once confessed to her that he was incapable of empathy.
And yet she married him.
I was just going to say, I hope that happened afterwards, because if she married him
knowingly
after hearing that, I'd be like, girl, what were you thinking?
Why? And they had kids.
One kid.
Oh,
But still, that's one too many, unfortunately.
I'm sorry,
poor
child.
guy. Yeah, I know. Poor kid. The only witness that the defense called was Mark Twitchell himself, which we all know is a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Right.
He probably wanted to.
He claimed that luring Gilles and Johnny to the garage was his attempt at a publicity stunt for House of Cards. So
Yeah.
he said he let Gilles go,
Oh, yes.
hoping that he would tell his story and it would create like an urban legend,
Oh, God. Dude.
right?
At least have a person in on it so you could do it believably.
What year did Blair Witch come out?
Oh.
I'm trying to remember. Because that was all based around like,
Yeah, that must have been like 2000, 2001. I don't know.
see, he's
Maybe even
copycatting
older.
again, man. He's like, come up with something original.
Yeah.
So
do
anyways,
something
he said
original.
that's was that. Like he had no intention of hurting Gilles. This was all
No.
part of this, urban legend. And he claimed that he did the same thing to Johnny, but that when Johnny realized that he had been set up for a fake date, Johnny got enraged and Mark had to kill him in self-defense.
Oh, so it's Johnny's fault.
Right. Yeah. So the jury was like, that is
Yeah.
crap.
Bullshit. Yeah.
He didn't buy it at all. He was found guilty and sentenced to 25 years to life.
Yes. Okay.
Several people in the media dubbed him the Dexter Killer, which
He
I
loved
think is
it, I bet.
it's kind
yeah.
of insulting to Dexter.
Totally.
honestly,
That's what I
really.
was thinking too.
Kind of an insult, really.
Like, don't do that to Dexter, you assholes. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And this last little tidbit that I have for you is that in May of 2013, it was reported that Mark had purchased a TV for his prison cell and that he had finally caught up on every Dexter episode that he had missed since he had been arrested.
Okay, that's bullshit. No, you don't deserve this. You're in the hole. Go write more scripts. You have all this time.
I hope he saw it well after the fact. Everybody ruined the ending for him.
Yes.
Yeah. Spoilers.
And he realized Dexter's
everywhere.
so much cooler than him.
Yeah. Spoilers.
What a piece of shit.
Oh my God, totally. He had this really creepy, I don't know.
He was just creepy.
He was creepy.
Slimy.
Not overtly creepy. Like if you looked at him, he looked like a nice, decent, clean-cut guy. But I'll have to find some of them and post them. There were a couple of like publicity type shots that he had taken, where he was sitting next to a camera or whatever. His eyes are just cold.
Like there's nothing there. Ah,
Yeah.
the soul is gone. Recently I realized I could never be a killer because I had to do a blood prick test on myself. I had to do several, like milk the finger to put the blood drops on a thing. And I was like getting all woozy. And I'm like, woo!
Serious.
Woo! So, yeah.
And we talk about this shit for hours, and you're like, oh my God, I pricked my finger.
But my old blood and milking it, for some reason, I was like,
Oh God, don't say milking it. Oh,
right?
God.
It was rough. Whew. So I was like, yep, nope, not in my plan, not in my future.
You're going to have to change career plans now. Oh God, now I got to go back from start over.
Again.
Oh,
I've
geez.
had so many careers.
Again. That is the story of Mark Twitchell, aspiring film actor, sucky serial killer.
Sucky
You
AF.
know what? He can't even call himself a serial killer because
He only
they
did one.
They caught him after one, so
Yeah,
he can't even
because he sucked
Nope.
so bad.
Exactly, dumbass.
A sucky killer, not a serial killer. SK, that's what it was.
Sucky killer
confessions.
So much more accurate. So much. Would you
Good
like
story.
to hear my awesome sources?
Please share.
I used Wikipedia, of course,
No.
and Murderpedia, of course.
No.
But the best information I got was from 48 Hours Mystery.
Nice.
Season 25, episode 15, Screenplay for Murder.
At least that one kind of like fits.
Yeah, that one fits. Like, that made sense.
But they should have called it Sucky Killer Confessions.
Sucky Killer would have been awesome.
I would have been like, what is this? I'll watch this.
I wonder if they had named the episode SK Confessions, if like Mark could have sued them, or I wonder.
Maybe.
But then he would have had to admit that was his, and he deleted
True.
it. I don't know. It would have been a
Yeah.
whole nother trial and shit.
Which could have been interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Go for it. Do it. Well, thank you.
Thanks everybody for listening this week.
We appreciate you, and thank you for putting up with us.
Yes. If you're enjoying it, tell other people.
Please.
If you're not, I don't know why you're still listening, but
that's all right. Keep going.
Yeah.
And if you want to support us, but you don't want to be a monthly Patreon member, you can always just buy us a cup of coffee on Buy Us a Coffee.
You did it this time. You did it this time. I always say buy a cup of coffee, and it's just.
But it's buyacoffee.com.
Buy a coffee? I think so.
Buy me a coffee.
It's on Linktree. We have it on Linktree.
Yeah, we have it on our
Linktree. It's on our Linktree. Do that instead.
ODFM.
But yeah, I'm the one who always specifies a cup.
I want a whole pot, please.
Can you make it a venti? Like I need the full...
at least do the big one. At least.
You know, I'm now a big fan of their cold brew, their nitro cold brew.
Yes.
And I was really, really tired one day, and I went through the drive-thru, and I was like, "Can I have a venti cold brew?" And they're like, "Yeah, it only comes in like tall and grande." And I was like, "Really?" And they're like,
"What?"
Yeah. There's so much caffeine in it that we legally can't sell you.
No way. It's like cocaine. It's like too far.
And I was like,
That's
shit,
funny.
I could really use that right now.
That is hilarious. Can I just get one of those thermoses, please?
But the worst part was that like I was in the car with my husband and I was having him order and he's like, "What the fuck are you ordering?" I just want some coffee.
You can't legally do this. Jen, every time.
I know. He's like,
always an illegal order.
I just wanted a big one.
I just want the biggest one you have.
I am really tired today.
Oh.
So, anyway, I don't know if they didn't realize that I could just order 2 mediums, but whatever.
That's all right. Next time.
Right. Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Hey Oddies, thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com, and if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.
Sam Fender returns with his brilliant new album, 17 Going Under. Includes the single 17 Going Under, Get You Down, and Spit of You. Sam Fender, 17 Going Under, out now.